Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and are having a flare-free day. Thank you so much for coming to my channel today. I feel like I'm in the festive mood with my red sweater. I'm still like holding on to summer with no sleeves, I feel. But I'm getting in the holiday spirit and I have my candle going and I just feel the cozy, comfy vibes. It's very chilly here in Canada now. We don't have snow yet, but it's coming. I can feel it. Winter is coming. I had my coffee this morning and I did journal, and I feel like that was a very therapeutic process this morning. I needed to journal just to get some thoughts out. And part of that was thinking and reminiscing about how far I've come this year and how quickly the year has flown by. I don't know if you feel the same, but I just feel like it was just a quick year. I can't believe it's almost December. Part of that journaling as well today was that the holidays are just around the corner, and I feel like on top of school, work, everything, I feel like is just, sometimes it just shows up and we're like, I'm not ready quite yet to host or to go to events or to plan around other schedules on top of living with a chronic illness. And so I don't get it perfect every time, but this video, I want to talk about the things that have helped me over the years that I've started to implement into my routine around the holidays to protect myself, to protect my peace, to make sure that I'm protecting my body with a chronic illness, because it can be a very stressful, anxiety-inducing season on top of a beautiful season of seeing friends and family, but sometimes it can be a stressful time. And so I wanted to talk about tips and tricks that have helped me manage the holidays with a chronic illness. I'd be curious to hear down below if you have any tips and tricks yourself on entering into this season, how you prepare yourself, how you get through it, and everything in between, because I know it will help somebody else in their journey during the holidays. So the first thing I kind of want to touch on before all the tips and tricks is that it's important to give yourself some grace and compassion this holiday season. You have done so much throughout the year. You've set up goals for yourself. You've figured out your body a little bit more. You've understood a little bit more of your symptoms and the patterns that come forward. So give yourself a pat on the back or a high five, because you have done so much this year to get you to where you are today in your journey. You set yourself up this year for success, to understand and to manage your illness a little bit better. So give yourself that grace and compassion when the holidays start to arrive, because sometimes it can feel like you're behind when it comes to the holidays because we're rushing. We're always rushing to do things or set up things or all of it. But take time to slow down and to think about how far you have come and how proud you should be of yourself. I don't know about you too, but I am an A-type person. I say this, I feel like, in every recent video, because I feel like throughout my life, especially with a chronic illness, I feel like I have this sense of proving to myself and maybe to others that I'm able to do it with an illness. That having an illness doesn't make me different, it doesn't make me other than, it just makes me a person that has this thing on the side, but I'm able to do everything else. Like making the meals, hosting, going to events, all of the things around the holidays. And I've come to realize that it's okay to say no. It's okay to protect your boundaries. It's okay to ask for help. And I know, as an A-type person and someone who's like people pleaser Canada, like sorry, like I'm scared to ask for help and to reach out for help because I don't want to impose. But the holidays, especially with a chronic illness, it's an important reminder to say you're not alone in it, and you don't have to take it all on. If you're hosting events or cooking or whatever it is, you don't need to take it all on. Okay, so tip number one when it comes to managing the holidays with a chronic illness is to protect your boundaries. Oof, I know. It's a tricky one, okay? Throughout the year, I feel like we set ourselves up for success. Again, we learn our bodies a little bit more. We have this routine in place that say, hey, I avoid this type of food, or I avoid this type of activity, or I don't go to many events because I know it's just gonna cause my fatigue to raise a little bit. So when the holidays come, oftentimes the boundaries that we have set stretch a little bit, or we push past our boundaries and say, hey, it's just for a short amount of time that I have this event holiday season, and it's exciting to see friends and family and it's important to connect, but sometimes there's so much going on and so many activities that we feel like we need to do it all. Part of that can look like saying no. I know, it's pretty tricky. I know, but sometimes we need to say it. We need to say, okay, like no, I'm sorry, I can't go to that event today. My body is just feeling it. Or no, unfortunately, I can't host this year because I'm trying to protect my chronic illness and my symptoms and my body itself and my wellness, and it's just a lot. Setting it up and saying, no, I'm not doing it all is something that we need to kind of incorporate this year with us chronic illness warriors, okay? We don't need to do it all. Maybe in the next couple of days or weeks before it really gets hustle bustle vibe of holiday, to write a list of the boundaries you want to set for yourself. It doesn't have to be the same as other people because, again, your body is different. Your boundaries might be different. Some of my boundaries that I am setting this year is saying no to events when my body feels like it needs a break or it needs a rest. We're not hosting this year, which is a big one for us. We love our house. We love hosting. I've done some videos about hosting, but we're not doing it this year because it just was so much last year. We did 2 events. We did Christmas and a New Year's party. We're still debating on the New Year's party with friends because Nick's brother cooks, which is amazing. So it takes the load off of us to do that cooking vibe. He is a chef by trade. This is why he cooks. But the Christmas part we're not doing. It just was too much. And so that was a boundary that I have personally set for myself that helps protect my illness and my symptoms and flares to come up because of the stress and anxiety that comes with hosting. I'd be curious to hear down below if you're willing and wanting to share some boundaries that you're setting for the holiday season. I'm sure it may help somebody else in their journey if they're trying to navigate what boundaries might be helpful with a chronic illness. I know myself, and I am like an extroverted introvert, so I can put it on and I can be super like, blah, hi, how are you? What's going on? Like super up. And then I like crash like immediately after an event that I'm like, not maybe masking, I guess, like putting it on and saying like, hey, I'm up and I'm energized. But in reality, I'm like, that was a lot. Like I was emoting a lot and I come down hard from that. And part of that coming down often results in cramping, discomfort, a physical reaction to the stress of masking and being up and energized. Typically, I would in my head say, okay, for hosting, then people can stay as long as they want. People can, there's no pressure. We're a cool vibe here. But in reality, I'm like, I'm stressing out. There's so many people. When are they going to leave? I got to go to bed. So part of protecting ourselves and our boundaries and our illness throughout the holidays is to set a hard end for our events if we're hosting. So if you want to say 11 p.m. or 11:30 or 10, whatever timing you know yourself that you're like, I kind of crash around this time, is to say, hey, if I'm hosting, I'm happy to, but I really have to have a hard end time when it comes to the event to protect my illness and the flares that might come forward with that extra pressure. Tip number 3 is an important one too, especially if you are hosting this year with a chronic illness, is to, again, have individuals share meal prep. You don't have to take on the whole dinner yourself. The turkey, the potatoes, the carrots, the stuffing, the dessert, the setup, the cleanup. You don't need to do it all, okay? This is a time to say no. It's a time to protect that boundary for yourself. And it's a time where you can ask your guests that are coming for dinner or lunch or whatever, hey, it'd be really great if you brought a dish or help me prep the meal. This can really help offset the load on yourself and alleviate that extra stress and pressure. This can also allow you to have the wiggle room to have time on your side to do the things that help protect your symptoms, help protect you from flares. I feel like if I'm constantly in the kitchen cooking or cleaning, it's just this added sense of stress and anxiety and pressure that I'm putting on my body. In reality, support waiting for me to say, hey, I can take on a bit of the load. The next tip is to plan a recovery day into your schedule within the holidays. For myself, with work in the mix, there's a lot of networking events, there's a lot of holiday parties on top of family and friends stuff. So I like to plan in a day right after that event, if I do end up going, to say this day is nothing. I'm not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in comfy cozy. I'm having a warm bubbly bath, or I'm having a warm shower. I'm having a warm tea for myself. I'm binge watching Netflix. Like, it's a day that I take for myself to just say, I've gone through a lot. That was a lot of emoting. That was a lot of stress on myself. If you don't plan a recovery day into your holiday schedule, and then you're on to the next event, like there's no break in between to really check in with yourself to say, how am I actually doing? How am I feeling? Do I feel symptoms coming up, like a slight cramp here and there that I'm ignoring because I'm going to all of these things and not giving myself time to rest. So really, please plan in a recovery day if that's either before or after or both an event takes place, because your body needs it. You are deserving of rest. It's not lazy to rest and to take time for yourself after that crazy busy event. So please plan a recovery day into your holiday schedule. So the next tip around managing the holidays with a chronic illness is to refill your prescriptions ahead of the crazy busy event holiday season if you are able to. I don't know about you, but around the holidays, I am sometimes not at home. I'm going to other people's houses. I'm going out of town to visit family in Toronto, or you're going to a cabin or a snowy escape or flying somewhere warm. But with that in the mix, sometimes we can forget about our medications that we're on and say, oops, I actually ran out of my medication that I need because I was so busy in the holiday hustle bustle of planning events or planning trips or whatever it is that I forgot to take care of myself. And part of that is refilling prescriptions ahead of time so that you are alleviating a bit of that stress of, oh, do I have my medication or not? It's already set up for you. You already have it planned. It was already approved by your insurance potentially. So you're setting yourself up for success in the holidays by protecting your illness and getting ahead of the medications that you need so that it's one less thing off your plate. What I do recommend, if you're able, is to pre-authorize your insurance company to allow you to refill your prescriptions during that time period so that you are ahead of the game. The next tip around managing the holidays with a chronic illness is to have a code word. This is a fun one. I find that you can really be creative when it comes to the code word that you want to pick. Candle, acorn, orange peel, grass stain. Having a code word, especially during the holidays, is a way to protect yourself, and it's a way to keep you safe when it comes to flare-ups happening. It can also be a way to protect yourself from having conversations that you're not able or wanting to have around your illness. So if you're heading to an event with a close friend or family member, it's really good to set up a code word with them so that they understand that if they hear that from you, that you're either feeling a flare-up coming on and they can understand that and be there for you, especially if you need water or your medication. It can also be a code word to allow them to say, hey, I'm feeling uncomfortable in this conversation when they're talking about my illness or things that I'm not really wanting to talk about during the holidays. And so it alerts your friend or family member to say, we're gonna kind of steer away from this conversation or try and set up a routine where they're protecting you in that environment and protecting your health and wellness as well as your body if it's going through a flare-up. It can also provide that extra sense of support if you are feeling a flare-up come on or symptoms coming forward and you're not wanting to alert everybody to yourself. I find that sometimes I can get awkward in situations or say, I really don't want to draw attention to myself because of my illness. It doesn't alert everybody to say there's an issue going on. So something to just keep in mind and something that you may want to implement within your holiday season. This is related to more fatigue and my new symptom coming forward, which is migraines, and I have a video about that. But I find that recently I've been having migraines nonstop, like they just show up and they're actually happening outside of my period now too. And so I have noticed that when I start to feel a tinge of pain related to the migraine coming forward, it's kind of a signal for me to say, hey, like, I need to find a dark room and like lie down or get medication or whatever it is. And part of that is I don't want to be driving. I don't want to be in a vehicle when a migraine sets in or even symptoms come up. If you're in a journey right now with your chronic illness where you have unpredictable symptoms, especially around flare-ups, driving and going out to places can be daunting. And I feel like an extra sense of stress and pressure on myself in the holidays to go grocery shopping and go Christmas shopping and all of that. And one recommendation when it comes to protecting your body and that fatigue or unpredictability when it comes to symptoms is to order groceries if you can online, or order Christmas presents online. If you are able to support local businesses online through their website, that would be amazing too. I know during the holidays, it's really nice to support small businesses and all of the hard work they've done throughout the year. If they don't have a delivery option and they are, again, that small business local to you, maybe you can have that friend or family member go pick up that gift or present and bring it to you. Same with groceries. If it doesn't deliver directly to you, but you can pick it up at the store, it might be a nice opportunity for that friend or family family member to support you and your chronic illness by picking up those groceries, delivering them to you, and even making a nice meal together. In line with the grocery option on ordering online is to meal prep ahead of time if you can. When it comes to meal prep, there's kind of a threefold with this, is that meal prepping ahead of time if you're hosting can alleviate that pressure leading up to that event for you to focus on resting, can really allow you to focus on things that bring you joy and comfort for your chronic illness. Meal prepping can also be supportive if you are experiencing bloating or discomfort when it comes to certain foods. You can meal prep ahead of time if you know an event is around the corner, and you can either bring that food and say, hey, this is an additional appetizer that I want to bring, and I just end up eating all of that because that's what helps me not feel bloated or in pain. But you can also talk to the host and say, hey, I actually have some dietary restrictions for myself. If there's an option that can be on the event hosting menu for myself, that would be great. If not, again, I can bring an option that I can just opt for and eat myself. Still allows me to go to that event and feel comfortable around the food options that don't cause me to have triggers. So I also want to end this video with a sneaky message for you. Sometimes when it comes to chronic illnesses, again, crazy, stressful, anxiety-inducing holiday season, and if you are watching, I know that you are the type of person that focuses on other people. You always give, either that's time or energy or whatever it is. You always look out for other people, and sometimes you forget about yourself. I see you watching. Part of the holiday season is that I have been so thankful for this community and this channel, and we are almost at 12,000 subscribers, which is crazy. Thank you for watching. I want to give back and I want to say thank you. And part of that is I want to do giveaways throughout, some sneaky videos throughout the holidays that you can enter to win digital gift cards to my favorite shops that have my favorite chronic illness essentials. It will be digital. There'll be no footprint on my end. I want to reduce waste in my life, so it will be digital, sent to your email. The videos coming in the holiday season will highlight things that you will need to do to enter, whether that's a like or share, a comment. I'll talk about it in the video when it comes, but some of the gift cards that I'm looking forward to giving out this year is gift cards to my favorite PJ place that has my comfy, cozy essentials for a flare-up. Some of them include a gift card to my favorite tea shop that has options for great herbal or non-caffeinated teas if you want to have a soothing option after or post-flare. I'll also have a digital gift card to send for a company that is Canadian-based, but they ship worldwide, and they have amazing period product essentials and endometriosis essentials like heating packs or essential oils to help with pain. So all of these things are in the mix, and lots of other options are there. You are so deserving of it, and trust me, you have done so much this year that you are so deserving of taking care of yourself. And I, if anything, want to help give to you because you do so much. And so we're in it together this holiday season. I am so incredibly excited, and I cannot wait to talk to you on the next video that may or may not include a little sneaky giveaway. Keep your eyes peeled. Bye.